To learn three-dimensional geometry, you must have a good understanding of two-dimensional geometry. In two-dimensional geometry, the coordinate system has two axes, the x-axis and the y-axis. The two axes are in the xy plane. The simplest element whose position can be defined by the coordinate system is a point that lies in the xy plane. We will call it point P. To determine the coordinates of point P, draw a line from point P perpendicular to the x-axis. It meets the x-axis at point X. Draw a line perpendicular to the y-axis. It meets the y-axis at Y. The x and y coordinates define the position of point P. We can say, starting from the origin O, we reach point P by traveling a distance x units in the positive direction of the x-axis and a distance y units in the positive direction of the y-axis. In three-dimensional geometry, the point P and other elements can be anywhere in space. It is clear that two axes only cannot determine the position of a point in space. We need a third axis, the z-axis. The three axes can be oriented in a number of ways. In 3D graphics computer software, you can choose the orientation of the axes so that you can look and work on an object from every possible point. However, in mathematics, the axes are drawn with the z-axis pointing upwards, the y-axis pointing to your right, and the x-axis pointing towards you. In two-dimensional geometry, the x and y axes divide the xy plane into four regions. In three-dimensional analytic geometry, the planes xy, xz, and yz divide the space into 8 regions.